Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. First thing on the list is we're going to work on cleaning up this garden a little bit over here at the house. If you followed us this summer, you know it was kind of a shorter growing season, more so than normal on some of the stuff, especially the cucumbers and some of the tomatoes, just due to the drought and then lots of rain behind that, lots of rain before that. You know, weather's just been a little weird this year. But Jacob's hooking up to his trailer. We're gonna get the pigs, you know, we'll let them enjoy all that stuff, that the rotten tomatoes and stuff that we ain't gonna be able to use. Well, since we can't enjoy them, the pigs will.
What, all those cucumbers?
And these rotten tomatoes on the ground all over the place.
Yeah, there's tomatoes everywhere.
Y'all put y'all's in my trailer too.
All right. Even these ones that look like it may be some good, they got bad spots all over them. They just really suffered this year.
Mine are still beautiful.
I know, yours did good.
I know one thing, we're at that time of year where it's just like weeds just grow like they're on steroids.
Yep.
It's almost, can I just cut the string?
Yeah, just cut it. Do it.
What's there?
Something makes you grow really fast.
Look, they ain't even gonna fall. They've dried standing up.
Did you ever pick your big squash you were saving for seeds?
No, it's still doing its thing.
It smells halfway good over here. It smells like cucumbers. It smells like.
Look, they come out. Look, just get a hold to them like that. Look at there. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I can just pull all that up, can't I? And just throw it all in the... Can't I just do that?
What?
Pull all this up and just take it.
The tomatoes?
Yeah, these
Yeah.
tomato plants. Just make sure I got all the string out. Like I said, where you cut it like that, just grab a hold to one and pull it. Have you?
We still got some new squash coming over there.
I see that. Yeah, we'll leave him squash pants alone. I mean, for as much trouble as we had in early summer, they've done all right now. Well, yeah, pick them up, have at it. I'm gonna pull these plants up though. Just get the ones that's over here on the ground. You hear me?
I want to show y'all all my squash I've got going to seed. I'm just letting them be. I'm not gonna need that much squash seed, but
Why not?
they got away from us, so I said I'm just gonna let these go to seed. That one right there was the original one I was saving.
Hey,
So if you're saving
Daddy
something
brought it
like
out here.
cucumber or squash seed, you can't get it at the point in life when, or at the point in the cucumber or squash's life that you would eat it. You've got to let it completely ripen on the vine, or we want them just to completely fully mature. Cucumbers, on the other hand, we've never really saved no seed from cucumbers, have we?
Them white cucumbers, but they didn't come up. I don't know.
But the funny thing is, you leave them laying out here, like, and then you go and tell them under, and you have cucumbers
I
coming
don't
up
think I
everywhere.
let them get old enough. You know these tomatoes ain't got no roots.
They ain't. I guess where they've dried up and died.
I guess.
Maybe.
They
I don't
ain't
know.
got nothing holding them in the ground.
I know this looks like a ton of wasted tomatoes, y'all, but we got what we wanted out of them, and a lot of them were just rotten.
Well, when they started looking bad, they wasn't worth picking because they're already so small. When you cut these bad spots out of them, you ain't got no tomato left.
Right.
And they all started getting these old.
Like that right there.
Look at how dried up this cucumber is.
Yeah, there ain't nothing left of it, is it?
You know, you got a bad spot on it. No tomato, no bigger than that. It ain't worth fooling.
It's no good.
It ain't worth fooling with in my book, anyway.
No, something else.
Especially like you just said, like I had done made all the things that I like needed to make.
Right.
So if I'd have been hard up for tomatoes, I probably would. But these San Marzanos are supposed to get bigger than this too.
Quite a bit bigger.
We grew them last year and they were a lot bigger than this.
The disease got them this year before they made much size.
Yeah, we had a tough go at it this year, but we were still blessed to have what we had. So time for them to go though. I'm tired of looking at these ugly things.
I don't think we're going to put anything else in where the tomatoes are right now, but what we are going to do, once we get this mess cleaned off, we're going to try a fall batch of English peas, winter peas, and see how that goes. We've never, well, I don't reckon we've ever tried growing in the fall. We've always planted them in the spring.
Yeah, I always done them early spring.
So we're going to try us a fall batch here. We're just going to leave these trellises up. Leave the hay on the ground. I don't think we're going to plant them today though, because I was looking and I think it's just maybe a few weeks too early for us to plant them here. So we're going to wait till just a little bit later towards the end of the month. But yeah, that's what this right here is going to be. So I guess I better quit running my mouth and get back to work.
Cut some more string for me, please, sir.
Alrighty.
That okra, man, it's just doing it to it, though.
It's been its kind of weather.
It's been a good year for it, that's for sure.
Been hot.
Last year, it was so cool all summer, we couldn't even get it to come up.
Amazing how things change from one year to the next.
Yep.
I'd say this summer right here has actually been a lot more like what a normal summer would be like for us.
We just ain't had one in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, we haven't had a hot, normal type summer in a while.
Maybe when you have a warm winter, you're going to have a hot summer.
Think so? I hope it snows this year.
Yeah, maybe since we had a normal summer, maybe we'll have a normal winter and actually have some snow.
I hope so. I know, little Maggie.
I say normal. It ain't been normal rain-wise, but it's been normal temperature-wise.
Little Maggie ain't never got to play in no snow.
No, she hadn't. It snowed the year we brought her home from the hospital, wasn't it?
Yeah, it snowed twice. In January, it snowed that big snow, and then in December of that year, it was a big snow. That's when you bought your snowplow.
Yep. Never snowed no more.
That's what happened. You bought that snowplow, and now it ain't gonna snow ever again. Well, the bad thing is,
it ain't gonna nobody buy it until
who's
it
gonna buy
starts
it? Because
snowing.
it ain't snowed in 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's getting full, ain't it?
Is it?
Well, it's
Already?
because of all these plants.
Oh.
What?
That's all right.
I know. Where'd that breeze go? It was blowing a while ago. There it comes. It heard me.
If we have a cold winter this year, maybe if we have a normal winter this year, maybe we'll have a cold summer.
Jacob, look at this. They're still just standing here. There's nothing holding them up.
Is that all the string?
No, but just about. I got the last little section here.
So, we was actually aimed to do this last weekend, wasn't we?
Yeah, clean it up.
Yeah.
We got enough.
Y'all, I don't know. I guess you could call it a midsummer funk.
Or end of summer.
Or end of summer. That's what we
Yeah.
got into. So, probably, I don't know if you've been able to tell it, but we just seemed like we just hit the button and we were done, wasn't we?
Especially with the outside work, we were just like,
It's been so hot. Here you go. I think it's been so hot this summer.
And we
I don't know, we were just kind of...
fought it so hard, I guess, that we're just like...
Last weekend,
done.
we were just like done with it. We didn't care to come out here. We actually, there was a point last weekend where we were sitting up there on the porch. And I looked at you and told you, I was like, well, I need to go do this. And I sat there for another 30 minutes and never did go do it.
We sat on the porch most of last weekend.
Yeah, we did. We done what we had to do, and that's kind of rare for us.
Yeah.
Hardly ever do we just do the jobs that's got to be done and not anything extra. And last summer, last weekend, we were just...
I think, yeah, our bodies and minds were like, just take it easy for a little bit.
We didn't have it in us to do anything, it didn't seem like. Look at the tomatoes that are coming up. You got new ones started.
Do it?
Yeah, look.
I see them. Oh, it'll be San Marzanos coming up everywhere out here next year. If they done like they did over here last year.
Maybe that's all the tomatoes.
Yeah, too bad you can't replace your weeds with just tomatoes coming up everywhere.
Yeah, let your weeds be the vegetables you're trying to grow.
Yeah.
So our tomatoes are being took over by tomatoes.
Well, look, we kind of done that. Right there's a mustard green coming up.
Is it?
Right there.
Sweet.
Right there's another one coming up. Last year, this little strip right here, that's what it was mustard greens. I think we had mustard greens and turnips, didn't we?
Yeah, out here, and it was beautiful.
It was. See the tomatoes coming back out? I think we'd just leave them alone.
Yeah.
They ain't hurting nothing.
No, that's what
They ain't gonna have time to make nothing, but we'll let them grow.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with it. Look at the prettiest little tomato plant you ever seen.
Look at the okra.
And that one right there you're saving for seed, that giant one.
Yeah, that one I'm saving for seed. And actually last night, when I come out where we had let some of them go a little too long, I'm gonna leave that one for seed. I'm gonna leave that one for seed. And there's another big one I'm leaving for seed. Y'all work on that over there. I'm gonna start pulling these vines off.
All right. Yeah, this will probably be their slop today, as long as they got feed in their feeder.
It literally looks like we've planted cucumbers across here.
Does it? It does, don't it? I see them. Ain't they pretty?
You think we let them go, we'll have a second batch of
Well,
cucumbers?
just leave them. You don't never know. Just let them be. That'd be awesome. Cause our late cucumbers over there, though, ain't hitting on too much.
Over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the disease got them.
Always does this time of year. See our replanted cucumbers? Looks just like we come down through here and planted some more.
We don't have much luck with late season cucumbers. It seems like they do better in the cooler early spring.
Look where it washed the backside of your corn right there.
Yeah, I done seen it. Cut me a pretty good ditch, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Maybe when we get the rest of the vines in there, it'll be
Yeah, that's what's taking up all your room is these extra vines I'm putting.
I don't know though. You reckon I ought to get these vines out of here because they did get eat up with disease.
Yeah, I mean, you may ought to do something else with them.
Yeah, I'll throw them out somewhere too.
There goes a cricket.
Or Daddy. You can put them in my trailer.
That's what we'll do.
So that's what killed the cucumbers so early.
Yeah,
And tomato.
they got diseases on them. Because I guess because of the crazy weather.
Is
Mate,
Daddy, mine are diseased.
it made them weak.
Is that your last plane and then we're done?
Well, got to get the rest of these tomatoes, which when I get these in there, I'll help y'all pick them up.
I know, because we planted mine before we planted these, and remember we planted mine so early we had to cover them with cups.
That's right. And yours are still doing great.
Yeah.
Because look at these. Some of these over here, I mean, they look awful. You must have the magic touch of tomatoes, sir. You struggled with a little blossom end rot, and after you got that straightened out, they've done real good.
Hey, lots and lots of people ask us all the time, do we save seeds or do we have videos on saving seeds? And I'm going to be quite frank with you. Every year we talk about saving seeds, we act like we're going to save seeds, and then when the spring gets here, we end up buying more seeds.
Well, we're doing better though. Like we're putting a little more effort into it. Like last year we saved our Kentucky Wonder seeds and actually planted those.
Yeah, something like a bean is easy to save seeds from. It's these squash and stuff that's a little more tricky. But I'm making an effort at it this year. That's exactly why I'm leaving those squash be. I want to see if I can save some seed from them.
It makes
If you save
better
seeds from
product.
your crop, it's supposedly, you know, the genetics get better and better and more adapted to your location and all that kind of stuff too. I'm sure that really takes time, like a lot of time. Like that's not going to happen in one season. That's probably not going to happen in 3 seasons. It's going to take probably 10 seasons before you've really got something that's adapted to your area. But, you know, if we start now, 7, 8, 10 years down the road from now, maybe we might have some squash that just do extremely good here. Or anything.
Plus it's kind of satisfying, like when you're planting them and you're like, you know what?
I saved these.
I didn't even have to buy none.
Just like those Kentucky Wonders.
Yep. And those, well, those Kentucky Wonders are good proof because you know how good them ones we saved did versus,
Yeah, it seemed like they done better than the store seeds.
Yeah.
But I will say this too, there's also a lot of hybrid varieties that perform extremely well
Yeah.
for us. And you can't exactly save seeds from them. You can save seeds from them, however, it's not going to come back true to whatever the variety was. You'll have something. I mean, if you save seed from a variety, from a hybrid type plant, you'll have something come up, and most likely it'll produce some type of vegetable. It just may not be the same thing as what you thought it was going to be.
Well,
You know, and I know a lot of people really, really like the heirloom type stuff. But I can tell you a lot of these hybrid varieties will, you know, are a lot more resistant to disease, fungus, and all these other things that we tend to have problems with. So that's also something to keep in consideration. If you've got something that's resistant to a lot of that stuff, well, that's either pesticides or herbicides, not herbicides, pesticides or fungicides or something like that that you don't have to use to keep that plant healthy. All right, well, those are clean. And I'll be quite frank with you, there's a lot of hybrid varieties that just simply taste better than the heirloom varieties, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, that's just something you learn as you go. You learn what you like. You learn what works where you're at, you know.
Yep.
Just because it works for us don't mean it's going to work for everybody. You know, it's like that with anything.
I also see that we've got a lot of green beans behind you there we're going to have to pick.
I know. I don't know how well our blue wonders down there, or whatever they're called.
Oh, they're going to do good. They're loaded with
I just don't know if I'm going to be able to find them.
Yeah, so our popcorn was our trellis for the Kentucky Blue. What are they? Kentucky? I can't never remember the name.
It's like Kentucky Blues or
Kentucky Blue Wonders.
It's a mix between a Kentucky Wonder and a Blue Lake.
Yeah, I do know that. So,
are you going to get my bucket?
like I said, our popcorn was the trellis for them. Well, during that hurricane, a lot of the popcorn got blowed down, so in turn means the beans are now on the ground. So they're going to be a little tough to find when it comes time to pick.
Yeah.
However, they're loaded with blooms, and they look really good, even though they're not
just going to be all wrapped up in that grass.
They're all buried in the grass and everything.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to actually dig for those, but I think we'll still get enough from them to see if we want to plant a bunch of them next year.
Yeah. Well, let's take us down to the pigs. Goats are hilarious. Look at him. He's just over there nibbling away.
At dead vines.
On them dead vines. All right, you ready, little man?
Yeah, raise it. All right. Pull on up in there. We'll just unhook the trailer and back it in. Okay. So the nice thing about this type of fencing is we can do what we're fixing to do right here. We can slide that wire down. Unhook the trailer, Jacob. Did that one slide back up?
Did you?
Got it?
You need some help?
Nah.
Oh yeah, look at that smorgasbord they got there. Look at them. Look, can y'all spot the pigs? Right there. All laid in the shade.
Look at that, that worked perfect.
They listen to you.
The other good thing about those, it's the same way if a tree or something falls on it. It just slides them down, you don't break nothing. All you gotta do is go cut the tree off of it, slide them back up.
Here, piggies.
All right, you all good?
Yeah, they got them some goodies in there. Pigs usually love tomatoes, especially.
I don't know if they'll do much with the tomato vines, but I'm sure they'll have fun with the tomatoes.
They'll have fun rooting through them, finding them
Yeah.
tomatoes.
They eat bugs and anything else may be in there.
So, while we're standing down here admiring the little pigs, we've had people ask us a lot, you know, about events and things like that we may be a part of. And so we do have a couple coming up in the month of October, and we just want to make sure, you know, to let y'all know about that. The first one's going to be October the 5th. That's the Foothills Farm Festival That's in Danbury, North Carolina. That is a festival celebrating Southern Appalachia. You know, there's a lot going on there, and Andy and I will actually be down at the field demonstrations.
Yeah, just to be clear, we will not be up at the main event.
At the main event, we'll be down at the field.
This particular event is spread out. And so there's a main event, and across the road and on down, there's like a farm road, there's a big field, and that's where they do the field demonstrations.
Right, and
there's a
tractor ride that will take you down
and you
there.
can walk it too, but it is a good walk.
Yeah.
So
but it's beautiful, and it's worth walking, or going over there. It is a beautiful spot of their farm. But anyway, so we're going to be that's October the 5th, and then October the 12th.
Yes, 12th.
We're going to be at Rocky Ridge Farm, which is where we get our friends, where we get our pigs from. It's going to be more of an educational event.
Yep, and it's a free event.
And it's free, and it's they're going to be teaching people mainly, I think, about pigs.
Yeah, I know I don't think we're quite 100% sure just yet what all is going to be detailed into this
because it's going to be the first time.
It's their very first time. They're super excited about it, but we do know that there will be some education going on about pigs. And if you have questions about pigs, that's the people to ask.
That's
so
right.
If you're anywhere local to, Thomasville?
Yeah.
If you're anywhere local to the Thomasville area and you're interested in that and you want to learn something about pigs, that's probably going to be the event to go to.
Like I said, we'll be there. And also, if you watch Chris over at Homestead and the Harnway, I believe he's coming too. Yeah. And we look forward to meeting him.
Now, as far as we know, we're not going to be able to be at that event all day long.
Right.
We're going to have to leave in the
We'll be there for most
afternoon
of it.
sometime.
Yeah, we'll be there for most of it.
But for most of it, we will be there. About the Foothills Farm Festival. The rain date for that festival is October 12th, which we will be at the Rocky Ridge Farms Festival at that day. So if by chance Foothills Farm Festival gets rained out, we will not be there. So anyways, we are hoping that, if any of y'all decide to come by and see us or whatever, other than the field demonstrations we're going to be working on, we're hoping that we just actually have time to just sit there and talk if you've got something you want to talk about. We're going to be hanging out down there across the road. I imagine you'll have to look for my big red truck. You see it sitting there, and we're going to be somewhere close to it anyways.
But, be sure to come by and tell us hello. It's always nice to put faces with names and tell us who you are. So
yep, exactly. We love meeting our viewers.
Oh, absolutely.
So
if
you're local, it'd be a good one to come to. What are we going to do now? I guess we need to go up there and pick the rest of your other tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess so.
You sound pretty excited about that. Have you seen all the tomatoes you want to see?
Yes.
Have you?
Pigs are loving it.
They are. Well, once again, we need to quit rambling and go get some more work done.
Let's go do it.
All right. So next, I think we're going to go through here and just completely strip any tomatoes through here that's got any redness or anything.
Well, we can even, honestly, we can even get the green ones too. I set some green ones when I made my chow, whenever that was, a couple weeks ago, that I didn't use. And they're just pretty and red now. And I ate one on a sandwich yesterday, and it was great.
What if it's a bigger green one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you want to.
Well, I see some dead vines in there we need to get out too.
I know.
We'll only leave what vines still look decent. I'll tell you ones that still look pretty good is them Mountain Merit tomatoes.
Yeah, the plants look.
The plants still look good.
And now since the weather's gotten better and they've actually gotten rain,
the
tomatoes look a whole lot better.
Yeah, the blossom end rod is done. It ain't there no more.
Yeah.
But we're not too terribly worried about tomatoes, are we? Because we have some beautiful ones across the creek.
Yeah. Them are the prettiest tomato vines that we've had all year.
And we have the ones y'all saw us plant the other day that are doing pretty good too. So.
Are you aiming to tie them up?
Yeah, once they get ready to.
I was just curious. Show them the beans laid over right there because it's so full of beans.
Look at that. And those are some pretty beans too.
4 times I've picked them things. This will be number 5. I'm trying to decide, should I put the good ones in this bucket and put the bad ones in that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have probably more than a 5-gallon bucket of bad ones.
Let's just do that then.
you can't never tell. Our second crop of tomatoes and liable to be better than, a whole lot better than the first crop, because maybe the weather's turned around now and they're actually going to have some decent weather on them.
It's true.
There's a pretty good one. There's a good one that was laying over there on the ground, on the fence, next to the fence.
It was just laying over there?
Yeah, that's a pretty tomato.
When we get done picking these, why don't you call our neighbor up here and make sure they got them some?
Oh, some tomatoes? All right, I will. I'll check with them before we do something
Let's do
else.
that first. I'd rather do that first than, I mean, like I said, I've got all I needed, and if I can help somebody else out,
Okay.
that's what we'll do.
I want to show y'all something else over here. You heard us just talking about maybe turning our weed seed bank into seeds into weeds that we can actually eat. Well, every year, I think it was one year, it might have been last year, year before. I think it was year before. We had purple hull peas planted on the outside of this fence, and a lot of them, you know, the ones we didn't pick ended up going to seed, and they fell off the vine or whatever. Ever since, we have purple hull peas that just come up and do their thing, and this year we've actually had enough of them that
I cooked a mess or two of
we
them.
actually was able to cook a mess off of them, and these were all volunteer plants. So you know, I think little stuff like that's pretty cool. I think that's a plus side to letting some of this stuff just go to seed and leaving it there long enough to kind of disperse its seed in amongst your garden. Just like I'm sure next year, I bet we got tomatoes coming up everywhere in this bed right here.
Oh yeah, and cucumbers.
And cucumbers, which now out here in the part we till, it's a little different story, because we always till everything up, and so that kind of kills whatever may.
But if they're big enough,
come up.
sometimes we save them.
Yeah, we have dug them up before
Yeah.
and moved them to a new place. But I think it's so cool to see stuff like that come up from year to year. So you've been picking beans.
Yep. Got the 5-gallon bucket full, and still got a few more plants to go.
And they're loaded. They are so full.
I was thinking about it because we've done give so many away. I think to most people that want them, I may just run me one more canner full. I feel like, I mean, you never know. We may have a bad green bean year next year, so.
Or maybe we won't even have to worry about planting many green beans next year.
That's true.
If you have a bunch of them.
Well, I've already got, I counted them one day, 60 or 70 some quarts of green beans in the basement right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many was you telling me the other day? You said you done went through how many canning jar lids?
At least 350.
350.
At least. It may be more than that. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you've had to get in touch with 4 jars and get lids how many times?
3 times.
3 times.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm waiting on them to send me some more because I'm out again.
That's a lot of jars of food.
Well, I'm hoping once we get everything, you know, the gardening slows down and I get everything put up I want to get put up, I hope to go down there and kind of show everybody what it looks like, you know,
The
right
finished
after.
product.
Yeah, right after garden time because
It's full.
yeah,
Probably
It's
need
full.
more shelf space, don't you?
it's full of a lot of hard work and love.
Yeah, that it is. So me and Jacob got all the tomato plants out over here, and I pulled the plants out, and he went through and picked all the tomatoes off of them, and we've got most of them in this bucket here. You know, there's green, there's red. I don't know what we're gonna do with them. To be honest, they're probably gonna go to the pigs too. This is a bucket of good tomatoes.
Now I did keep some of the bigger green tomatoes. I got them on the windowsills in the house.
Okay,
Yeah.
to let them ripen up.
Yeah.
But while we was in here digging, I found more grapes. These were hid by the tomato plants. You can see there's some more hanging right there. There's a few right there.
Maggie's picked several of them.
Maggie, yeah, all the ones Maggie picked, she put in that bucket right there. Our grapevine just went plumb crazy this year. I don't know, it must have been a year for grapes because a lot of what you see here is new growth. Everything past that post is new growth. That was not there back in last year when we were getting grapes off of it.
We didn't even get no grapes last year.
We got a few, but it wasn't much.
I mean, a handful, yeah.
Then this vine right here is a seedless grape. And we've never really had grapes on it. The thing's been planted for, gosh, 10 years. And look at this. So I'm assuming that those are the seedless grapes. And there's a bunch of them hanging under there. And then the funny thing is our sweet potato vines are growing plumb through the fence. There's sweet potato vines right here. Because see, just on the other side of this fence is our part of our sweet potatoes. And so it's still a jungle, but it looks a whole lot better than it did. So I guess I'm going to help you get the rest of these green beans picked. We're about to run out of bucket space.
Yeah.
Those over there have tomatoes in them.
After this, are we going to call it an evening, or you got anything else planned?
Well, we've got more tomatoes we need to pick, but I think we might just wait till tomorrow and do that.
All right.
It's getting hot.
It is getting. It's got mighty humid this evening here.
It really has.
But
it's been a productive day so far.
It really has. It may not seem like much, on the video, but we've been out here for hours.
We have been.
Working on this, but
it needed to be done.
And something we were talking about, earlier is in years past, except for the last, 2 or 3 years, at this point, our garden would be
a mess, a jungle.
A mess. And y'all, this hay, it is such a lifesaver. Like it really.
It is.
It really is.
We've had grass come up in it. We have to go through and pull it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not work free, but it's easier.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
It really is. It looks good. This is probably, just looking around here, this is probably the cleanest garden we've had.
This late in the year.
At this point in the year, ever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pile of beans in here.
Yeah, I believe I got enough for a canner full, maybe a hair more. What we're gonna do with you gonna take them to the pigs?
We need to get the good bucket and probably take it to the house,
Yeah.
and then the other ones can sit there. We'll give them to the pigs tomorrow.
Okay.
Because they already had a load today, so
Yeah.
we'll take them tomorrow.
Okay. All right, well, I don't guess y'all see no cooking today. We're gonna head out here in a little bit to Tractor Supply and stop and get us a bite to eat.
Yep. I guess that's gonna be about it, ain't
I
it?
guess so, yeah. Today was just garden cleanup day, and
Working here in the garden on a mid-August day.
that's right, that's right. But anyways, guys, hope y'all learned a little something today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.